Now the bitch reaches her final form, the being of love. So this is my playful take on David Deida's 3 stages of feminine development. A recap from the first 2 videos. The bimbo is described by being superficial, dependent, fearful. She depends on love from others to feel whole. As she moves on to the second stage, the ball buster, she becomes free from that need because she learns how to love herself completely. 3 key words for the ball buster: driven, boundaried, independent. In the second stage, the ball buster receives respect from herself and from others. She reaches many great accomplishments because she's driven and she's self-sufficient. All of these bring her to much greater levels of happiness than the bimbo. But she's still feeling a little bit unfulfilled. And that's because with the focus on goals, order, leadership, the feminine loses her spark, her juiciness, her radiance. And so she must evolve to the next level. The next level moves beyond getting love from others. It moves beyond getting love from herself. The being of love moves beyond the idea that there is a self and comes to the realization that at our deepest core, we are love, as are all beings, and we can radiate this love out to all. And one important point to make before moving on is to define love. There's so many different ways to interpret the word love, and I just want to make it clear what this word means for me in my videos. Love is not just romantic love. Love doesn't mean sacrifice. Love doesn't mean being with someone forever and ever till death do us part. What is love then? My definition of love is that love is accepting, understanding, caring for someone, and wanting the best for their growth. Love is recognizing and appreciating the spark of divinity that exists in all of us. At the end of the day, we all just want to be loved, and we either do things to give love or to get love. And so what does a being of love look like? There are 3 key words. First is openness. She doesn't close off her heart or withdraw, even when she's hurting. What do I mean by that? So in the face of being with someone hurtful, the being of love stays relaxed and understanding and appreciative of their basic goodness. She has the effective boundaries of the ball buster, but she can also recognize that other people lash out because they're hurting in some way, and she can continue to treat them gently. Second is radiant. When we are open, we are relaxed and soft, and that allows the love at our core to radiate outwards. The being of love emanates a loving presence wherever she goes. She radiates love regardless of whether or not she will be rejected. She knows that when you give love, that's how love grows. She gives love without attachment to the outcome, without worrying about whether or not the other person will love her back. She gives love, she radiates love because that's just who she is. Third is fearless. Because the opposite of love is not hate, it is fear. And when we let go of fear, we can be fully loving. The ball buster may be independent, but she's not completely fearless because there's still that sense of self that can be threatened. The being of love gives herself entirely to love and lets go of everything, whether it's a comfortable relationship, a comfortable career. She lets go of all of her attachments so that she can most fully devote herself to serving love. And to illustrate how the being of love might look like, we'll continue Leanne's story, but first a recap. In the first stage, Leanne started out as a girl with low self-esteem and entered an abusive, toxic relationship. When she hit rock bottom, she vowed to never let a man make her feel that way again. And so she started her second stage journey, the ball buster. She devoted herself to learning how she can be emotionally independent and to her mission of helping other women in similar situations. Her relationships in the second stage were respectful, caring, balanced, a much greater improvement than her toxic relationships in the first stage. But in the second stage, the relationships felt lukewarm, almost like colleagues, rather than passionate lovers. And now we continue Leanne's story. Leanne, who directs a nonprofit organization for domestic violence survivors, has been working closely with Scott, the director of another organization that provides affordable housing for vulnerable populations. Scott was highly competent and driven, yet sensitive and compassionate. He had a mission that Leanne respected and that aligned with her own. She fell hard for him, but she was afraid her feelings would jeopardize her mission. She was torn. Leanne, thinking that men think like her, thought that Scott would be more attracted to her the more she showed him how much of a warrior at work she was. So she drove harder into her work, trying to impress Scott with her competence and productivity. He responded by furthering their business relations, but not much more. Still unfulfilled, Leanne plucked up the courage to send him a text message to express her feelings, because she just could not deny that feeling in her heart any longer. And so her text went like this: Scott, I admire you on many levels, and I would love to get to know you in a romantic context. If you are open to that idea, please meet me at 6 p.m. at our favorite coffee shop. If you're not interested, I completely understand, and let's carry on as if this never happened. I respect whatever decision you make, and I value our partnership and our missions too much to let anything have any ill effect on it. She hit send with butterflies in her stomach, and she eagerly awaited his response. Shortly after, she received this text message back. Leanne, thank you for sharing how you feel with me. You are an incredibly competent and beautiful woman. I wish I could reciprocate your feelings, but I don't see you in a romantic light. You're absolutely wonderful to work with, and I'm sure this would not affect our working relationship at all. And so Leanne was crushed and confused. She didn't know that by activating her purpose and leadership, she stepped into her masculine, which depolarized their chemistry. And if you want to learn more about sexual chemistry, I have a video on that. It is linked below. And because she stepped into her masculine, Scott respected her as an amazing colleague, but he didn't feel that spark of sexual chemistry. And this pain of being rejected was intense, but it was also cathartic because Leanne let herself sob for the first time in ages. Afterwards, she felt light as a feather. She also felt more whole, as if she let a very important part of herself out of the woodshed. Somehow, all her logic and reasoning didn't help her feel better, but the emotional release did. Leanne realized that she had been favoring intellectual logic all along and hadn't really connected with her heart and her emotions, and so she resolved to reconnect with her whole being. To heal her broken heart and connect deeper with herself, Leanne decided to use yoga. After consistent practice, she found levels of peace she has not experienced before. She learned to soften her body and let energy flow through her. Now, at work, Leanne brought a whole new presence. She started listening before speaking. She started to trust her colleagues' competence and allowed them more space to guide their own projects. And the projects flourished because the people felt trusted and they had the independence and autonomy to exercise and develop their own unique gifts. Leanne also started showing her emotions freely, whether it was celebrating in delight with new grants or crying in empathy with her clients. With Scott, Leanne resolved to not let her pain interfere with their missions or with her love and her regard for him. She continued to respect his choice and appreciate his presence. But with Leanne developing more of her innate femininity, Scott could feel himself becoming more attracted to her. It was starting to get harder and harder to just see Leanne as a business partner now. One day, after celebrating a major grant with a few too many drinks and looking into each other's eyes a few moments too long, it was as if an irresistible force was drawing their faces together. And Leanne and Scott finally kissed. They pulled back, surprised, yet hungry for more. I'll end Leanne's story here, but it sounds like it'll be the beginning of a beautiful relationship for her. So how do I know if I'm a being of love? First, how open am I? How relaxed or soft in my body in all situations, not just when I'm happy. Hey, when I'm hurt, do I turn away? Do I lash back? Or can I maintain a loving gaze with the other person and treat them with kindness? Second, and how open am I to the basic goodness that exists in all of us? Second, how radiant am I? Can I feel the love shining from my heart for all beings? Our softness allows the love to shine through. Can I feel it and magnify it and pour it into others? In every moment, am I giving my gift of love? Even if there is a threat of rejection, the being of love shines her love on all. Third, fearlessness. How fearless am I? What is the intention behind my actions? Am I doing something to get love? Am I doing something from a place of scarcity, of not feeling enough, from a place of fear? Or do my actions spring forward to give love, to give my greatest gift to the world? Are we giving from a place of neediness to get love from others, or from a place of relaxed knowingness that we are love at our core? And I just really want to emphasize that we can't skip stages. We have to go through all the stages. We need to learn to develop our masculine and be whole and independent in the second stage before we can give from a place of true generosity in the third stage. We need to learn to set strong boundaries before we can love others without fear. We need the ability to walk away, the ability to not be overly attached before we can soften and open with others. Otherwise, there'll always be these threads of neediness that sabotage our attempts to love. And now I'll go over the 3 stages again. In the first stage, we're the bimbo with no boundaries. We do things to be loved. We betray ourselves to be loved. We are superficial, dependent, fearful. We live stressing about how other people see us. As we move into the second stage, the ball buster, we learn to set strong boundaries. We are independent. We are driven. But we can live stressing about how to reach our goals and how to further our mission. Finally, in the third stage, it's not that we let go of our boundaries, but we soften ourselves to be receptive to the ideas and direction of others. We know that we have the full ability to walk away if things do go south. We are open, radiant, fearless, and completely relaxed as a being of love. And not everyone wants to move through the stages. Growing through each stage can take a lot of pain and work and requires deep examination of our beings and letting go of past beliefs and parts of our lives that no longer serve us. It's not an easy journey by any means, but for me, it is a journey that is totally worth it. So thank you for watching the video on being of love. The other videos will be linked somewhere here or below. And yeah, thank you again for watching. And if you have any comments or questions, please let me know. Thank you.